Hi, this is Junda. Welcome to Tree Leaf. This week, the members of our Sangha will begin preparations for our annual Jukai ceremony. That's the ceremony of undertaking the precepts and committing to the Buddhist path. Now, the ceremony is not until January, but we like to take many weeks to reflect on each of the precepts, to study their meaning, to read about them, and to find out where they fit in our life. What is the meaning in our life? And the same with committing to this Buddhist path. We reflect on what that means. You see, many folks have been walking this Buddhist path for many years, studying the Buddhist teachings, trying to, well, learn the Buddhist way. But there comes a time when we commit, and the ceremony is a symbol of that commitment. It changes nothing, but it changes everything. It's a little bit like being engaged to someone for many, many years, someone you love, and then one day deciding it's time to head to the altar just to stand for what is already there, the love that is already there, the place you want to be. Well, our Jukai is like that. It's a symbol of committing to this path, and it's also a symbol of undertaking the precepts. And again, I say it represents something that should already be. Let me explain what that means. Because the precepts are guides to a peaceful, healthy life, avoiding harm, avoiding anger, avoiding greed and misusing others, avoiding being filled with clutching and wrong speech and many actions that are part of this path. And for me, just as vital as Zazen, they are Zazen. Because how can one have the fruits of Zazen practice in this life if one is filled with anger and hate and willing to hurt others and willing to misuse others? The tree bears fruit when it is watered with the peace and the loving kindness and the compassion of the precepts. So they're vital. But as I said, the ceremony should just represent what it is already. If you take the ceremony the next day, you start being an angry, mean, greedy person. It makes no sense. On the other hand, you should every day already be living in a way to avoid harming others, to avoid taking what is not given, to avoid creating strife for other people in your life and for yourself. And if so, then the ceremony just represents that fact. Now, as far as I'm concerned, folks can take Jukai any number of times. We should take it every moment. But the ceremony itself, I know folks here in Japan who take it every year, and you can take it with any number of teachers and any number of lineages. I've taken it several times with different teachers and different lineages who have been vital and precious in my life. And some think you should, when you take Jukai, it's committing to a particular lineage, but I don't feel that way. I feel it's committing to the Buddhist path in general. Of course, we're a Zen Sangha, so we practice Zazen. People who would sit with our Sangha will practice Zazen, but the precepts are for all Buddhists, you see. The precepts are for all of us, and we should all live by them. I've said many times they're not commandments from on high or heaven. If you break a precept, it's not like lightning bolt comes down, but a lightning bolt will come into your own life for the harm you do, the strife you do to yourself and other people in your life who are not separate, who are not two, by the way. Now, how does one commit to taking Jukai? Well, if you're interested, please, we're at treeleaf.org, and anyone is welcome if you think that committing to taking Jukai would be interesting to you, or not interesting, I mean important to you. Please do. There's of course, no charge for it, but we do ask certain things. We have a group, and we will take our time and discuss and look at each of the precepts, and we have readings each week on each of the precepts, and we ask people to participate in that if they plan to take Jukai in our Sangha. And we also ask folks who will take um, the Jukai in our Sangha to sew one of these. This is a rakusu. It represents the Buddhist robes. Uh, it's for lay folks, but it's basically the robes of a Buddhist priest. And they symbolize this commitment to the path. Now, we ask people to sew one, and I'll talk about that, I think, next time. There are many people over the last couple of years who never picked up a needle and thread and sewed a raksu in our Sangha and found it to be a beautiful, inspiring path that symbolizes all of life. Now, I'll talk about that next time, but I just want to say, don't be scared about sewing a raksu, even if you've never picked up a needle and thread before. There's plenty of time to do it slowly and step by step before January when the ceremony is. And we have all the instructions there. Our other teacher, Taigu, has provided very detailed video instructions. We have many people doing it, some experienced, some for the first time, and they support ourselves. They support each other in the Sangha, and we have a sewing circle, and we ask if you're interested to please participate in that. But this is what Jukai is. It's a beautiful, beautiful ceremony, and something that just represents our walking this path. Okay? Shall we sit with that?